Okay, so the first Descendant is like this free-to-play gotcha waifu collecting game. I've not really played many of these games like Genshin or whatever, but I was really interested in this. It looked really damn good, and then it was a third-person shooter. I played a lot of Resident Evil raid mode back in the day, and so I'm like, yeah, I'm used to like grinding my ass off and things like that. And so when it first came out, I was waiting for it. I had it on my wish list, and it kind of got like bad reviews. And so once season one came about, and then there was a lot of patches and stuff like that. It was like, and me and my friend Eddie, we had some time, so it was like, we'll sit down and want to play it. And I got enamored with the game. I really, really liked it. There's a lot of, well, let's just say predatory, gotcha bullshit mechanics. Just to be straight up about it, especially with things like you have to like buy paints or something for your character that are like one-time use. There's some scummy stuff like that, but for the most part, you don't feel like you're obligated to buy anything. It's definitely some pay-to-win stuff where you can just buy characters or catalysts. The main things that you want to get, the things that you're interested in grinding for, you can just buy them if you want to. I personally don't think really that's really the best play to play this game. If you just buy the power, and then what's the point of it if you do it? But you can if you want to, and I know what they're trying to do when they try to do something like that. They're trying to get the player who is willing to spend the dough for the competitive advantage, that the whale, whatever. They're definitely in there. But as far as what the game is basically trying to grind and get characters. I love it. People complain about the rates. I don't think the rates are too bad, but there is definitely a point where people don't understand what probability is. 20%. If you do 20% 10 times, each one of those, you only have a 20% chance of getting the character. And so the more you do, the more it is the likelihood that, the probability is that you'll get the character or the item or whatever it is, but it's not a guaranteed. And you can get very, very disappointed when you're trying to get something, especially if you feel like you're behind other people and you're trying to catch up, which when me and Eddie would start, when other people have been playing a long time. But for the most part, I had a blast, and you gotta remember the good drops that go along with the bad drops. You'll damn sure remember the bad drops too. But there's some mechanics there that are addictive, but are not very good. And I think the dev team knows about it. They're looking into things like that. But as far as season one, there was a lot of quality of life patches that happened in the middle of it that enhanced it. Like when I started, these Sharon missions were like, you're kind of hanging outside of this outpost. We're waiting a minute for the monsters to respawn. You go in there and you do some little stealth stuff, and then you kill it, and you hope you get a goodie, and there's about a 25% chance of the goodie. And then once you're done, you got to go back out and wait another minute. They've halved that time, and they've recently said that they're even going to change how that works. But there's some mechanics like there where you're like, oh, especially in the campaign, where it's like, oh, stand in the damn circle. And it's like, man, I just want to move around and kill shit. It's like your character feels so good when they're moving around and grapple hooking and shooting and stuff. And just kind of being forced to kind of just sit stationary is lame. But they've looked at some of those kind of missions. They're going to get rid of them, or they're going to change them, except for the campaign. I think campaign is probably the weakest part of this game, which sucks because it's fairly long. It takes about 30 or 40 hours of doing various missions that a lot of them are pretty damn repetitive. And you'll do like a little area. You'll have like, oh, we'll collect these balls, or sit on this platform, or put this mailbox, put shit in the mailbox, and then like, well, this is kind of lame. And then you'll get to the I think they're called an infiltration or an invasion. When these are the long missions, like the one I'm showing right here, where you're running through a damn little dungeon, blowing the hell out of stuff. It's fun. I really, really like it. And of course, the ultimate goal is to get it in, kill the enemy as fast as possible to get your chance of getting your goodie or whatever it is, or getting your loot box. And I love it. I love it going through and trying to be efficient at it. I love, they've built in little shortcuts and stuff. So if you've got special little grapple hooks, you can take these shortcuts. These kinds of things, I think they shine. And then there's a game I played back in the day called Castlevania HD that worked similar like that, and it was just liquid crack going through and optimizing out everything, and it's just fun as hell to play. Now, the campaign, you have to put up with 4 or 5 dumb missions, so you'll get one of these good missions. But thankfully, once you get to the end, a lot of them are running through these dungeons as fast as you can and blowing stuff up. If you're not Sharon sitting outside of the outpost with a 30-second cooldown, waiting to get a loot box, you're in here doing these, and these things are fun. They're the highlight of the game. And there's a lot of stuff where it's like, oh, you need to collect these materials and stuff. They slowly build upon things. The menus that you go through are a little bit convoluted. I would think, especially on console. I was able to bind a couple keys on keyboard to quickly get through to say, well, what's the next thing I need on my list? There's a lot of, I think, there should be some quality of life stuff there, so you can quickly find and see. You can track a couple goodies and keep track. It's like, so you can see where you are as you're building up these materials and have them on your screen. It needs to be a little bit more optimized, honestly. But it's a game that I think it's a mixed rating on Steam, and I think it deserves that, because this is not a game for everyone at all. Especially if you're looking like as far as like quality per time, because you're gonna spend a lot of time and you don't know. You're waiting for the luck of the draw, man. It's like you feel good when you pull that good pull, but if you don't get the good pull, it becomes very frustrating. It's like, what the hell did I do just all night? I freaking ran this one damn mission 10 to 15 times and I didn't get what I want. And I understand that would put off a lot of people, but as someone who's played games like that, this is pretty damn good. And there's nothing that I've been going for that I haven't been able to get in a reasonable amount of time. Getting Ultimate Frenya was a bunch of work. It was the highlight of what I've done so far. It's my only Ultimate character I've got so far. But dude, when you feel like amazing when you get her and you get the pieces together. There's some annoying ass free-to-play bullcrap where they make you research the points, and these you can only research 5 things at a time, and it's like this weird ass throttle. It's there to try to save you the sell you shit. It straight up is. But you know what? You just do it. You know what? I get up every morning, I feed the cats and log into the game, and I freaking make sure my wife foods are cooking. It's just one of those things you got to do. And I can understand that this is a very unappealing prospect for a lot of people. It is, and this is a game that you can at least play for free. If you was to try this out, I would play the free version. You go through, you tolerate the campaign, you see whether it's like you're having fun shooting the people. The guns feel good, although really it's about the character skills beyond just the straight guns. You don't commit any money into this until you at least beat the game and says, well, you know what, this is something I want to keep going on, or this is something I want to give up on. The challenge and expectation for your character scales up pretty high towards the end, and I've not reached the peak of what the game offers at all. As far as fighting the Colossuses or whatever the hell they are, but there's like these big huge bosses that you'll work with 4 people trying to kill, and they're like humongous, and they have like little weak points and targets and stuff like that, and you can grapple onto them and rip shit off. It's fun. And but you know, any kind of game that has a very repetitive flow to it, it can slowly drive you nuts or burn you out. And this is definitely a game that could do it. Now I'm about 140 hours in right now. I'm definitely not done playing this game. I'm excited. I'll probably play it up until around Monster Hunter comes out, or at least I think I got a couple more months into it. But I was very impressed with what I was seeing. There's things that are starting to annoy the hell out of me, like breaking down materials and stuff, or they're adding things in the season 2, like a dog's supposed to do it for you. But as so far, playing through season 1, finally getting Hailey, which was the big point of the season, little mission, whatever. It's fun, and I had a blast playing it. I can't wait to play season 2, and most live service games don't catch me at all, but this one's caught me pretty good, and I would say right up, I'm $31 in the hole. I'm going to keep an eye on how much money I am, because these are the kind of games that they'll suck the money out of you bit by bit over and over again. So I want this, I want that, I want this, and well, I can just buy it. Yeah, and then you just start buying stuff you're not paying attention to, and you'll lose yourself, Brian. So I'm not going to name names. Talk to a guy who is dropping about 400 in. I'm sure there's way more than that. It's like if you're of an addictive nature and personality, and you got to have all the waifu costumes, all the freaking stuff. There's a lot of predatory shit there. Like limited costumes are only available for a limited time, and then it won't come back. It's like, well, you better buy that kind of stuff. If you have the nature you need to collect everything. But you need to know that when you're playing games like these and kind of recognize when it's doing psychological stuff with you, and then realize where you were at in the dollar amount. That's the key. And so I enjoyed it. a lot for the money I put into it. I think the season pass was there's a lot of junk in there, but I thought that was pretty good at the end. And we're excited for season 2, but I don't know if I can recommend this to people. But especially, I think I've named a lot of the flaws out, and that should be, if that's something that turns you away immediately, yeah. But it really comes down to, it's free to play, give it a shot. It's trying to try to suck your wallet out. It's going to try to get your credit card. That's what its goal is, and so you got to be a little resistant there on your part. But I enjoy it. So if you've got some, especially if this is something to play with friends, you're going through, he's like, hey man, you get what you wanted? It's like, no, I got effed over. It's like, well, that's great because I got what you wanted myself, and I can't trade it to you. We'll do the run 40 more times and we'll get it for you, man. Let's do it. But we're going to give this 1 paw up. We love the music. We love the graphics. They're amazing. We love the characters. But the negatives are it's predatory free-to-play gotcha crap. And on top of that, I thought I skipped most of the story. What the story was going on in the background with the freaking radio chatter was awful, I thought. This is not something you're going to do for the story. This is something you're going to do to get your warrior bikini thing that you've been running for your character that you've had to run 45 pulls for and you haven't got yet. That's what this game is. It doesn't try to be more than that. I've had a lot of fun with it. Great music, by the way. The soundtrack should be on Spotify or something. I'll have to track that shit down. Kind of almost, some ways just generic movie trailer music, but pretty good. So 1 paw up, Brian. I've had a lot of fun with what I played. We should have been playing Path of Exile too, but they delayed that stuff. That's okay. I had a lot of fun with this.